Hello? Is it working? It appears to be. Can you guys hear me all right? You can see and hear me. Okay, good. YouTube's just lying to me then. Sorry, that was a very anticlimactic beginning. YouTube was like, sorry, we couldn't start the stream, try again. And then it was telling me that my audio wasn't working. I was like, I can see the mixer going bounce, bounce, bounce. Mic is a little quiet for you. Is that better? Me sitting a little closer? Except you look a bit pale. Yeah, it's because I'm sat under this light. Hang on, let me show you what... Is that better? I mean, it's very dark now. Let me just tilt the camera a little bit. Turn that off. I mean, I have to have this on bright so that I can actually see what I'm doing. It's just my volume, actually. Oh, don't worry. Okay, I shall not. Good afternoon. Hello. Happy Monday. I had a delivery. They finally arrived. My girlfriend wants me to start streaming since I'm unemployed and job searching. She wants me to do what you're doing and stream painting minis. Any advice? Lol. Absolutely, Jacob. Just start. If you want to do it, then go right ahead. Just start doing it. Where would you stream? Twitch, probably? Twitch or YouTube? Here it is. We have a battle standard bearer on Royal Pegasus. We have a Necrosphinx. They have arrived. We have the books. The Forces of Fantasy is here. The Forces of Fantasy. We have the Arcane Journal for the Bretonnians. I've got the Tomb Kings of Khemri and the Ravening Hordes. These things have arrived. Indeed, Lord Billy. Necrosphinx. Right here. Do you rate AK Paint good or bad? I'll never try AK Paint, Sean. After their distasteful marketing. How did you paint the column on Dante's base, please? That's a great question. That is Mechanica Standard Grey, shaded with Targor Raid Shade, and then dry brushed with Tyrant Skull. No, it's alright, Sean. AK made a book where they were telling you how to make gas chambers using their products from the Holocaust and various other terrible things like human atrocities. It's like mass graves and things like that. And I was just like, nope. And they say that they were just saying that it's art, and it's like you're trying to use those things to sell your products. That's not art. That's exploitation. Good evening, Colonel. Captain Mannerings has been very nice. Many years ago, in a cupboard under the stairs, one man set out on an epic journey to free the good hobby peoples from the tyranny of the GW layer painting. That man is Mr. the Warhipster. I genuinely look forward to your greetings, Captain Mannerings. They are the best. Good morning, Eric. Good evening, Beardhammer. Good evening, you beautiful Warhipster. I hope that you had a great weekend and that you had fun in yesterday's stream. I did. Had great fun playing games with the boys. I don't see enough likes on this video. What's going on? I was getting to it. We will get there. Listen, I think there's benefits to doing both Twitch and YouTube. To answer Jacob's question about which of the streaming services do you think is a good starting point. Twitch is dedicated to streaming, so it's easier to build a Twitch following than it is on YouTube. Because if you're just streaming on YouTube, YouTube will require you to make videos for people to discover you, right? So, like, you need to do both to get a decent audience on YouTube. Twitch, because you're just streaming on there, what you can do is you can stream on Twitch, save the videos from Twitch, create videos out of them, and then upload them to YouTube to grow audiences in both places. That way you can transition and stream across both. They've also removed their restriction on being able to stream across both simultaneously. So before, YouTube was like, we don't care if you stream elsewhere at the same time using restreamers or whatever. Whereas Twitch was like, no, don't do it. It's against our terms of service. So you can now do it, which is great. Which is why you see some streamers like Call of Duty streamers, like I like to watch, like Stoddy. He now streams across both simultaneously, whereas he didn't before. You're not late, Stoogie. You're just in time. We haven't started anything yet. It's 5:10. We're all good. Welcome to Me Time Mondays. It is the day where I do what I want for a couple of hours for my mental health. And we stream it. So today, we're going to be doing multi-class build. There you go. You start a new job in 6 weeks, finding this one, finish this one in 3. Oh, that's awesome. So today, what we are going to do is we're going to pop over to this overhead camera. So I've been working on these today. And today I'm going to build the Bretonnian and hopefully the Necrosphinx. But before we do that, we're going to just quickly finish the Seraphim Sapphire on this guy. Because I don't want to leave it, because I'll forget to do it otherwise and it'll annoy me later. So I'm just going to very quickly just do his arms, because I didn't do them earlier. I was doing this right up until when we started streaming. And yes, this is Me Time Mondays, but this is for work. because this is going to be a video, of course. I mean, a lot of the stuff that we're going to do here is going to be videos eventually. It's just my way of kicking certain things off, as it were. But this is a cheeky preview for you Dark Angels fans, at how we paint Deathwing armor now. There is a video on the channel already from a while ago, but of course that was from a long time ago. We had older paints, and now we have newer paints that we're able to use. And as I'm sure you can tell, Seraphim Sepia is bloody lovely for this. For anybody who wants to get the jump on their Deathwing, prime them in Wraithbone and use the new Seraphim Sepia to do the armor. And you'll be done in no time at all. It's so good that I only do one little highlight on it, and it's literally just to kind of correct any mistakes, really. It's not a particularly strong highlight, because Seraphim Sepia is just quite bright. It's exactly what you want from the Deathwing. I think this is the second week in a row where we've kicked things off with a little bit of painting. I was about to say, I don't think we've painted yet on Me Time Mondays. But then I realised last week we actually did some of the gold on the Necrosphinx Bone Dragon as well, didn't we? There we go. Lovely. A new faction. No, thankfully, we're now done. So, to give you a little preview, here's a finished one. And of course Belial as well. But he's over on the taking pictures area. So there you go. There's one. And there's the other. We've done a pretty cool sword effect like we've done on Belial as well. Anyway, we are done with Terminators for now. So, Big Bad Peter Gaming, thank you. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. You actually turn this back on as well. Because we need to update this back to 760. Babe, wake up. Warhipster did a new Deathwing. I kind of... I see Stod put that in his titles on Twitch, and I'm like, oh, I could nick that. Oh no, they look so good. How much time does it take you for each Terminator? Not too long. I did 2 of them yesterday. I did those 2 yesterday, so theoretically the other 3 I could probably, if I sat and really concentrated, I could probably get them done today. Right. I know it's Me Time Mondays, guys, but Which one do you want? Necrosphinx or Battle Standard Bearer on Royal Pegasus? Which one do you want to see? I'll let you decide. I want to do both, so I'm fine with both. I want to do both equally. So I'll let you guys choose. Would be cool if you could do the same for how long to paint at the end of the paint tutorials. That's a really good idea, actually, Cameron. Maybe I will. Let's see what we were getting here. Necrosphinx, Tommy. Hey, buddy. Necro Easy. Bretonnians. That's 2 for Necrosphinx, 1 for Bretonnians, 3 for Necrosphinx, 2 for Bretonnians. 3 for Sphinx, 3 for Battle Standard Bearer. Okay. Where is my building tools? Oh, they're over there. Oh. So yesterday I was doing a bit of a tidy up here, getting rid of some boxes and some old sprues, and part of that meant I had a little bit of me time yesterday, about half an hour, and I built this one. So that's for the Hallowed Knights. But I thought, you guys don't want to see more Stormcast today. Please do the Sphinx. Everyone's saying Sphinx. Paint a dwarf. Okay, Lord Billy has donated £5 to the channel, so I think we're probably going to end up doing the Sphinx. Let's open them both, shall we? Let's do a little sprue review, shall we? Let's do that first, shall we? So we're going to open up the Sphinx, this guy. First thing to note is this one's got the plastic on it, which they don't generally tend to these days. So that's not very sustainable, is it now, Games Workshop? This one doesn't have any plastic on it. Thank you very much, Lord Billy, for the 5. Is the Stormcaster Lord Arcanum on foot? Yes, yes it is. So you get him when you do... So if you buy this guy, Aventus Firestrike, you get the option to build it as either a Lord Arcanum on... on Toralon, or as Aventus Firestrike. If you build it as Aventus Firestrike, you get a Lord Arcanum on foot. So when I did Aventus Firestrike all those moons ago, it's over a year, maybe 2 years now. When I did that, I was like, I'm going to hold on to that Lord Arcanum. So I've just finally just dealt with it. Oh, that's fun. Look at that. Box slightly mispacked. Oh yeah, so for those who don't know, the Necrosphinx can be built as one of 3 things. Either a Necrosphinx and a Tomb King on foot. A Tomb King on War Sphinx, or a variant assembly of a War Sphinx with some 2 to 4 Tomb Guard, allegedly, is what's in here. See, this is quite a familiar style of kit, which is really nice. I'd be interested to see what the instructions are like, because I didn't like the instructions in the old thing. So we get rectangular base, not sure on the size, and we get a 30mm square base for the Necrosphinx and War Sphinx. Here are the instructions. It's more like a traditional kit. We've got numbers on components, because this one isn't actually that old, I don't think. Not really. So you build the main body of the Necrosphinx up until there. Then you make your choice of Necrosphinx, Khemrian Warsphinx. So that's how you build your Necrosphinx. Khemrian Warsphinx is there. I'm going to build it as a Necrosphinx. And there we go. There's our with a bit of kit bashing. We've got the Tomb Guard that we can put on foot, I guess. Because there's no way you can fit all of those in. Do you reckon it's a simple thing to say that the Tomb King is a high priest, a lich priest? A War Sphinx with a Deathwing Terminator on it. That'd be horrifying. Okay. Let's have a quick look at the sprue, shall we? Let's start with this one. Let's just get this. Okay, so first and foremost, let me just become ungovernable. Build the legendary battle standard bearer on the Necrosphinx. It's very much like a traditional, not traditional. It's very much like a modern Warhammer kit. This one, we have connection points on the sprues around the outside of these nice flat components. For example, not there on the cutting blade. It's not on the cutting edge. It's just around here on the outside, which is good. Nice and easy to smooth down. Same around here. Again, nice and easy to smooth down around the outside. We do have a connection point on the rounded areas of these arms, which is a little bit annoying because it means you have to move with the curvature of the miniature, so as not to gouge it too much with your knife. The body is massive and the body is round. Its little legs not made for distance. Connection points in the actual smooth skin, and it's right down the middle of the body as well. The two halves of the body, rather than it kind of being, if the body's like this way, it's gluing it together like that. You're actually gluing it across like that. So there's potential for a big long connection line going up the middle of it. So you want to be careful for that probably if you want to get some green stuff. If it's not good enough. These older kits generally tend to be a little bit more gappier than the newer ones, but enough glue and enough patience, you can probably get it just about fine. Yeah, I mean it's pretty good in all respects. The armor to us almost to a fault is all around the outside. We only have connection points here on the top of the chest plate here and here, so that's one thing to watch out for, not to take those edges off too much. Otherwise, pretty good. Legs, connection points on the muscles, which I don't like, as you all know. If you watch my sprue reviews, you'll know that's something that I have great distaste for. What's the date on the sprue? It is 2010. Do you reckon I should pick my Brutalis Dread as normal red Blood Angels or as a Death Company Dread? Oh. I mean, both are sick. I saw a message just then. Blobs of Corn, please, you will be happy to know that I have got over my Blood Angels funk, feeling a lot happy about them now. I have done more on them. Excellent, Blobs of Corn. I'm very glad. You're doing a really good job on them, man. 2010, an excellent vintage. Exactly. Almost as old as I am. We've got a lot more stuff going on here. I hate assembling skeleton archers. I'm with you, Tundra. The thing I didn't enjoy about building all the Tomb Kings from 2003, from the core box, is how it's all ancient old kits with ball joints that don't match up. There's no flat connections like you get in more modern kits. So everything just goes. You glue it together and it just goes like this. the way around it is to build the unit all at the same time. So do all the legs, glue them to the bases. Do all the bodies, glue them to the legs. Do all the left arms, glue it to the bodies, and so on and so forth. And the time it takes for you to do all of that, the components dry with the glue, making it so that they don't like... When it comes to things like the ones with armor, just glue the quiver over the shoulder rather than over the body. Because it will not go on. These need dry brushing. I haven't done that yet. Ugh. Or use super glue. Anyway, we have the second sprue here. This one's a little bit more involved, isn't it? There's a lot more going on there. We've got loads and loads and loads of smaller details. We've got the bodies. The bodies are really good, actually. They're a lot more interesting than the skeletons, as you would expect, because they're Tomb Guard. Got all that lovely armor and stuff. Some of these quite easily will go onto a square base. This one not so much, because he's stepping up. But this guy, we know, can be put onto a square base, which is fully what I intend to do. But yeah, there's loads here. The spears are excellent. I'm into that. I'll probably hold the crew back for a bit because I am getting a box of Tomb Guard and I want to add some of those weapons to it. You guys are being very rude about the Eldar, and it's justified. Look, I mean, we're in the... As I mentioned in my Deathwing video, we are in the age of the redesign, so I would fully expect Warp Spiders and Swooping Hawks to be, and Fire Dragons, to be on their way for the Eldar. And then they'll be done. That's the last of them, right? The Phoenix Lords as well, but the mainline units, they'll be finished. Oh, this is a nice sprue. I like this one. There is a lot of things to kind of look out for here, particularly around the bodies, because we've got the connection points on like smooth armor here, which is fine, but then we've got it on a ball joint just in there, which means, you know, that'll be quite a weak clip point, so be careful with that. Same on these ones. These ones we've got the clip point right inside underneath the ball joint, so be careful not to accidentally take that off, because that would be a disaster waiting to happen. But yeah, it's in pretty good nick, this one. I'm surprised at how good this is. It's really not that old. 14 years old. It's 2024 now. On Friday it was my birthday. Happy birthday, Jacob. I ended up joining an IG Painter livestream of Paint Hangout. My first taste of live streaming was Friday and I felt socially awkward watching people tune in. You kind of gotta, like... I get you. The thing is that unless somebody comes in and they're being a horrible bugger, everyone's there to support you. And that's kind of the trick to it. So like I sit here and I believe that each and every single one of you are my friends, and that helps me relax a little bit. That standard looks great for a BSB on foot with one of the Tomb Guard models. I agree. That is a very cool standard. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe that's how I'll use them. That way I save some money. Cool. Right, we're gonna have a very quick look at this guy, and then we'll build the Necrosphinx. Because we've had a super chat requesting it, so you know that's how things work around here. You spend money on me, you get what you want. The one thing I'd like, but the GW won't ever do, is stop making new Marines and focus on the undeveloped factions. Many now are full in terms of range. I don't disagree with you, Yamel. I am curious as to which factions you think are undeveloped. Genuinely, that's a question. That is a. I'd love to know, because I sometimes look at the other ranges and I think, yeah, they're good. Lord Billy, thank you so much for the 5 gifted Warhipster memberships. Absolutely heroic. You guys have been awesome today. We're half an hour in. We've already got 10 new members. And 76 people watching. Oh, that's a chunky base. Does this mean he's not as big as I thought he would be? Okay. So Battle Standard Bearer comes on 2 sprues. There they are. Oh, I mean, I'm desperately socially awkward. Mostly because the pandemic did something weird to me, and I am very uncomfortable being outside of the house. That's a lot of axes. I mean, that's just one set, isn't it? That's just one kingdom. I hadn't actually seen this. I don't think that's very good. I mean, there's the fleur de lis. Is that a fleur de lis? It is, isn't it? That's a shame. Okay. Well. So this is the Battle Standard Bearer on Pegasus kit. You build a Battle Standard Bearer and then a Royal Pegasus. Put them together. Add in the top of his saddle. Reins. And then it tells you to paint the flag before you stick the flag on. Or it recommends that you do that. Oh, I'm guessing that's his back. Yes, it's his cloak. Or cape. And then he has 2 shields? Do you just pick one or the other? Why does he get 2 shields? That seems silly. The new one's mainly like Votan, but as old as the game is, it feels full. Even World Eaters that would need more feel like just more Chaos Marines. I see what you mean, Yamail. I think the interesting thing about new factions is I feel like Games Workshop doesn't want to overwhelm you with too many new kits at once, because people will then complain that there's too many models at once, right? They also don't want to... It's like a damned if you do, damned if you don't scenario, right? Because like I'm going to cast your mind back to the Astra Militarum. That had 3 different release waves. Because there was the army set with the codex, and then inside the codex had all the new stuff. And then you had the second wave of stuff, and then you had the third wave of stuff. And that all came out in pretty short order. And that felt like a good full range. But I think a lot of people were like, well, where are the Rough Riders? Do you know what I mean? Because they came out last. So it's like, yes, World Eaters need more. And yes, the Leagues of Votan also need more stuff. And they're the most exciting, right? Because they're the ones that you can't really guess what's going to happen with them. I mean, with World Eaters, you kind of can. You can kind of go, well, they're probably going to get an elite Terminator. And Leagues of Votan, though, it's really difficult to guess. It's like what's missing from their range. And I think people think, people will say things like there needs to be like jump troops for them, and you know, like a dreadnought thing, and it's like, yeah, I can see that, but also I hope that's not what they get, and they get something a little bit more imaginative. Yeah, King Auric, that is a daft amount of axes on a transfer sheet. Mine's got a little bit of a mark just there. That's where it feels like the transfer paper's a little bit thinner, which is a bit of a bummer. I just, like, where are the lions and things like that for the red and blue ones? Dark Eldar needs a load of new kits. Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. Dark Eldar are an interesting one, right? Is it's like with the flesh cults and things like that, they could create loads of cool new stuff, but I bet they won't. I bet they'll just keep redesigning the old models, and I'm like, oh, just give me new stuff, please. Okay, cool, right. Let's have a quick look at these sprues, shall we? I've dropped. Oh, there we go. So we'll start with this little one. I mean, that flag is very big. That's for the sake of ease, I might not even use contrast paint on that, because it's very big. There's no recesses on this at all. So there's nowhere for the dark contrast pigment to flow. I mean, I'll probably attempt it anyway, depending on which scheme we end up going for, but it's very big. The rest of it is quite nicely sized. You know, sensibly sized, as it were. That is a flag. That is a flag. I really like this sheathed sword. I think that looks awesome. I'm a sucker for a traditional looking, like, long sword, great sword, Zweihander, all that kind of thing. Not with too many fantasy elements. I think they look great. Place for lots of transfers. Exactly, for loads and loads of axes. At least someone is enjoying their old world stuff. The GW warehouse in Nashville delayed my local store orders due to weather in central United States. Yeah, I've had some stuff delayed as well. Not because of weather, but I've had my Cetra. Cetra, he's not here yet. The Tomb Guard, they're not here yet either. Good evening, Chapter Master Joe. Niall, I want Grey Knight's refresh and new models, not selfish. Yeah, see, I'm with you. I don't necessarily want them to change Terminators, but I suspect they will. I suspect there will be a bump up in size of Terminators, even though I think the Terminators look great. I'm not sure about the Strike Marines, if they're going to get changed, because that kit does 4 different units. Strike Marines, Interceptors, Purgation, and the other one. Is that right? Tell me if I'm wrong. Good evening, Castellan. So I don't know if that will go, but so, you know, who knows? But it's like what was I saying? I literally just lost my train of thought. Let's look at this sprue. Oh, Grey Knights. So yeah, I would like to see them get, like, I'd like to see them get a really, really, really cool. Firstly, I'd like to see them get a new Chapter Master. Kaldor Drago, the whole thing is just silly now. Just kill him. Just be done with it. Or don't kill him. Just, like, leave him in the warp where he is and give us a brand new super psychic-y, fiery, incredible Grey Knighty thing. That would be awesome. That's just like a pure, just bonkers designed Grey Knight. That would be lovely. And then maybe to bring back some form of Dreadnought type thing with the side cannon. Again, there's a lot of kind of redesigning of old stuff. I'd like to see them actually get like get something like jet bikes, where they have Nemesis Force Lances. I'm very well, Cass. How are you? Anyway, this sprue. So firstly, we got the head connected here at the neck, which is great. Love to see that. It means you don't have to smooth down the top of it because of a clip point. Which is always just, I don't know why they didn't just do it in every model kit now. This hand also has a connection point on the underside. I think this is the one that goes on the front of a shield. Maybe this one or this one. I'm not entirely sure. But either way, it's on the underside there. It's not in amongst the fingers, making it difficult to clip out. It's great to see it. Love it. The banner does have its connection points on the rounded part of the actual flag, around the actual base banner pole, which is something I don't like to see because, of course, it means there's potential for gouging and flattening those bits out. So just be careful with those. Hello, Disco Magma. I don't think Garrow's in a position to come back, James. Yeah, we have some fabric here. It's all connected around the outside, which is great to see because it means it's nice and easy to clip out. Really good. Keep licking the like button. Yes, lick that like button, guys. It's the free way to support the stream, and it means more people will come in and watch. And then I'll get more subscribers, and then eventually I'll make more ad revenue, and when I make more ad revenue I can then hire someone to make even more content for all of you. Next up, we have this big sprue here. This wing is incredible. Love this. Single piece of a wing. Great. Love to see it. Always wish all of the wings were in one single piece, because it means you don't have to run the risk of having any gaps like around here or anything like that. But this wing is in two pieces, so it glues in here, so around there. So it means there is the potential for a gap to go along here, so you'll just want to watch out for that bit. The horse's body, we have a connection point in the hair, which I don't like. Similarly, this one is on the flat flesh of the horse's leg, so again, just be very careful around there. We have a... oh, God. That is a travesty of sprue management. Connection point right on the top of the horse's head. And if I'm going to look at this, does it have a piece of armor that goes over the top? It better do. I'm not seeing it though. Okay, it does. So an armor plate will cover that up. That's fine then. According to the picture there. Oh no, there we go. Oh god damn it! There's two different heads. Okay, so it's right there on the top of the nose, and that is in like the most obvious place of the horse. You look at the model front on. There's a potential for a clip mark right there. So you have to be really, really, really careful with this one. So it's just a bit... I don't like that. I really don't like that. That's just one of those things. Connection point on heads is troll tier stuff. Yeah, exactly, Eric. It's just not... It's not ideal. Like, you can cope with things when it's like the back leg or the front leg or on the tail or whatever, fine. But when it's on the front of the head, on the front of the horse's face, right there, if you mess it up, you have to use the other head. That's why I don't like it. It's also just, you have to be really careful with building, and I don't like being careful while I'm building. I don't like concentrating too hard. It's supposed to be the bit where I turn my my brain off. Oh well, it is what it is. Nothing you can do about it. The tail is pretty cool. There is a connection point in the hair, so watch out for that bit, and on the top of that bit of fabric. Again, right there alongside a seam where there will be another bit of fabric that connects into it. So that's where, again, you can run into areas where you end up kind of taking too much off it. So you end up with that kind of effect where two pieces join. So just be careful with that one. Conic, yeah, this is the Pegasus banner bearer. This is the battle standard bearer. on Royal Pegasus is this one. There it is. So, you know, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's sort of this sprue is lovely. This one, I would. I mean, without building it, I can't tell you what I would give it, but that already says to me that it immediately knocks a point off. Anyway, we're going to build the Necrosphinx like you guys asked. The Dark Angels Codex was leaked the weekend. In the Codex, it showed the updated combat patrol for Dark Angels, Captain in Gravis armor, 3 Blade Guard veterans, 10 intercessors, and 5 Hellblasters. I mean, I can show you. So here's the new Codex. So quick preview. Combat patrol. Literally turn to it. So this is what they say is a combat patrol. 10 intercessors, Masters Zachariel, the Gravis, 5 Hellblasters, and 3 Blade Guard veterans. In many ways, I think that's more on brand for the Dark Angels. And then you get your painting your combat patrol. There you go. The magic number is 69. Nice. So we need 18 more likes to get there. There you go. I think it's more on brand for them as opposed to the old one, which was a chaplain, a dreadnought, some inceptors, and 5 intercessors. Is Gilliman mentioned in the book? I'm kind of waiting for them to discuss the 2 meeting. I don't know yet, Marius. I've not read it. I shall do. I'll get around to it. I just haven't had the chance yet. Also, Marius Gage. I love your character. It's an excellent comic book. There we go. Right, Necrosphinx time. I'm not sure if we'll get the whole thing built, but we'll give it the old college try. So we're gonna go for the envenomed sting because it's extra points. So I've got my little clock here. This is how I do all my timers. So I'm just gonna hit go. Off we go. See how long it takes to build a Necrosphinx, shall we? Right, we need component 48, which I think is on this one. We also need 34 and 35, so here we go. 34. Maybe if I just hoik you up a little bit, that would be a little less uncomfortable. And then we need envenomed sting 48. Are you on the other sprue? Yes, you are. Okay. Okay, we've got a little connection point just there. Do you want to snip off? And then I need my knife. Right, we've got a hideous mould line going right down here. So we're already off to a great start. I'm gonna have to remind myself to clean up after myself, because the Deathwing Knights tutorial looked very funny if it's suddenly on a bed of plastic shavings. Does anyone else get like a lethally itchy nose when they're building? I always do. Ugh. That was horrible. It's like I'm getting these pieces up the... It's like I'm doing this, I'm getting the plastic up my nose. I'm like, I'm nowhere near it! Okay, 2 parts down. Okay, so one sprue has got significantly better mold lines than the other. That's always what you want. The problem with building something a little bit more involved like this one is it's harder to look at chat at the same time. Okay, so you then go here, And then you go on there, allegedly. Oh, that's just horrible. Why is it at a jaunty angle? Ugh. Chèvre. I hope I've said that right. Please tell me if I've said that right. If not, please do correct me. Thank you very much for becoming a member and then gifting 5 of the finest Warhipster memberships on in the land. That is incredibly generous of you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. How do I pronounce your name? Oh, God. Right. Can't have that. Time to create a chemical hazard. That was correct. Oh, excellent. Ah, so I have a funny story about that Vokork. I have tried twice now to order Tamiya glue, and each time the dispatcher has got in touch and said, sorry, I know it says we have it in stock, but we don't. Each time I try and get it, they're just like, nah, sorry bro. But when I go to Citadel Glue, oh yeah, we got 20 of them. It stands for goat in French. I see. So you yourself are a goat in the sense that you are the greatest of all time. For becoming a member and for gifting 5 memberships. It's incredibly kind of you. We are 7 likes away from the magic number, guys. You guys are killing it today. It's very hard sometimes with these older sprues to figure out if it's where the mold has actually overlapped or if it's just a mold line, because sometimes you think you've got it and then you turn it like that and you can see the whole bloody mold line again. It's like, oh well, I guess I didn't get it again. Delicious relish, it is Me Time Monday. What colour do you use to make battle damage on black armour? The best thing I've found with that is to use chipping. So you can do chipping on black armour using... Oh, I see. So that's how the tail goes in, and then that's on a jaunty angle because it's actually going to be flat. Right. Okay. Makes sense. And then you just have to hope that you've got it in the middle and it's not weirdly overlapping on one area. Or that it doesn't just go on a journey through time and space somewhere else. There we go. I'm just going to hold that for a minute. So yeah, doing chipping using a metallic really works for battle damage on black armor. Also, you have like the whatever your spot highlight color is for the black. So if you do it like blue, like with rust grey and Fenrisian grey, you can use that to add like the nicks and scrapes. Doing like holes in the armor is a little bit difficult because normally you would use black, but you can use the grey to create like the outline for a hole, and then use pure like a dark metal in the middle of it to get it good. Thanks so much for the advice for painting my Stormcast. Tried it out and it looks awesome. Just need to decide on a blue or green wash over the steel. Definitely falling hard for AOS. Sick. I'm so glad. Hey, Simeon. Bear Studios, loving your painting tutorials. Have literally got me into the game after 15 years and buying my first full 2K army. Would love to see more videos on Bone Reapers as they have some pretty cool models. Well, I'll see if we can make that happen for you. We have done the big boy after all. There we go. We've gone past the magic number of 69 likes. You guys, big kisses to all of you. But only if you want one. If you don't want one, you don't have to take a big kiss. I'm not forcing that on anyone. Right, we then need component 1 and 2, which is this one. Get out of here. One thing I find interesting with sprue quality is sometimes you can clip things out and they should just drop like that. However, sometimes it's so densely compacted in the sprue that it just stays there, it just hangs there, like a Space Marine body in the old tactical kit used to do that. Sometimes for big monsters, this is a little trick for you. When you get stuff like this, so like for example this Necrosphinx, when you've got the two halves of the body, if you put them together and smooth them down with your mold liner remover or the back of your knife at the same time, you can actually use that as a guideline for how kind of tight that line is going to be when you put them together. So you see like that? See how smooth that now looks? Thin down skeleton horde for some light sheep's wool. Yeah, you could do that. Or you could use Seraphim Sepia on its own. If you want it to be like this colour, Dudex, that's just Seraphim Sepia over Wraithbone. Means you don't have to go to the hassle of thinning down the skeleton horde. Okay, so this allegedly goes in here somewhere. Okay, so it's that way round. So this then goes in there. So we are going to have to glue it all at the same time. Interesting. I've been fighting the urge to splurge money on 1,500 odd points of Tyranids, finishing what I've got before buying more. That's you're showing a lot of restraint there, my friend. I should have finished the Tomb Kings of Khemri army set before I bought these, but I couldn't resist. I've heard of these fabled piles of shame. Okay, let me see if I can... Let me see if I can do something for you. If I pop to this screen, will you be painting the rest of the Tomb Kings box? I am Endara Lane. Sorry. I am doing it, yeah. I'm doing it slowly but steadily. There's going to be a video that is basically how to paint your warriors, your archers, your chariots, and your horsemen at the same time. However, in order to get that video ready, I have to paint a lot of the kind of background of it. So rather than painting, because you guys don't expect that from me, you don't want me to put one warrior with a spear, one archer, one horseman, and one chariot on the screen. You like to see the whole thing, and I like to do that for you guys, so you can see. That way I can provide context on how it is to paint the whole thing, right? So what I've done is I've painted a unit of archers and I've painted a unit of warriors. I need to paint the unit of the horse, or half of the unit of the horse archers and half the unit of the horsemen with spears and shields. Then I can paint the rest of it and actually film it. Yeah, no gaps. We're looking good. I'm impressed with that. That's good. Right, yeah, so if I was going to do this, if I then just do that, and then pair a device. Right, so if I... So I did a little bit of tidying up. That's part of my pile of shame. And that's just a fraction of it. It looks like this new Star Wars movie might not happen. Oh no, what a shame. Yeah, so you see those boxes that I have to get that all done to finish. This is what Me Time Mondays is for, right? It's doing things like that. Let's go back here. Okay, so we've done 2 figures. We need component 33 and component 15 next. 33 and 15. And they are... There's 15. Slightly easier to get at. $15. And I didn't see 33 on there, so it must be on here. 33, there you are. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. Once these two are on, that's an entire page of Necrosphinx done. Isn't that exciting? Oh no, that way around. Okay, we've got a slight gapping solution going on here. Why is that? Okay, that's better. Hey, the Eternal Crusader. Okay, so you go on here, roughly like that, and you just go on there like that. I'm not sure if there's meant to be a gap there, but there is. Oh well. Oh yes, indeed. You're absolutely right, Simeon. So if you missed out on a limited edition End in the Death, Games Workshop has reclaimed their stock from the scalpers and the bots. It will be going on sale on Wednesday. So you'll have another chance to snap it up, which is really good. I just need to sort this out because it's still connected via. We don't want it on the. There we go. Yeah, it is. It's really good. So I come in here and go. And we go like that. Go overhead. Look for the. There we go. So here you can see. Where is it? The End of the Death, Volume 3. So with just 2,500 copies available, we expected exceptional demand and a set limit of 1 per customer on the web store to keep things fair and to give as many fans as possible the chance to complete their collections. Unfortunately, we saw an influx of people trying to purchase multiple copies, some aiming to make a resale profit, underhanded tactics worthy of Erebus himself. We are committed to only selling 1 per customer, so we have rejected any orders where a purchaser has tried to get more than 1 copy. Our tech savants aren't really revealing their methods, but needless to say, they are not to be trifled with. This has left us with extra stock, and the books will be going back on sale at 4 o'clock GMT on Wednesday the 24th of January on warhammer.com. The store will go live at the same time in all locations. See the graphic below for details. There will be a queue in place once again. There you go. So, West Coast, 8 AM. East Coast, 11 AM. London, 4. Germany, 5. Tokyo, Japan, 1 AM. Sydney, 3 AM. So there you go. Another thing to point out, if you guys haven't already, if there is somebody in your life who you consider to be a Warhammer hero, you have 1 week left to submit to Warhammer Heroes. It's a really nice way to compliment somebody who may have supported you on your journey, a community leader, club organizer, a brother, a sister, a wife, husband, somebody who supports you on your hobby journey, somebody who's done a lot for you, somebody you just find inspiring, someone you would consider to be an unsung hero of Warhammer hobby. You have 1 week left to submit your nomination for a hero. It's a really, really big compliment for that person, especially if they get a nomination. They get a plaque on the wall in Bugman's Bar. They get a medal. They get to go to an evening, a kind of celebration thing. Do it. I've already submitted a couple of mine. Just people who I've just really helped me and have inspired me on my journey. Yeah, just make sure you do it, because it's a really positive thing, if you haven't already done so, because it's a really good... Can we nominate Warhipster? You can if you want. You don't have to. I'm just saying, like, honestly, for, like, somebody who... Like, even if it's like, somebody who first took you into a Warhammer store, even if it's like, your dad who helped you build your first Warhammer models or something like that, it's just a really nice way of giving something back. And it's a really cool thing. So yeah, just if you haven't done so and you want to, make sure you do, because you're running out of time. Now, if I press this button, this should return. Okay. Page 1 in the bag. Oh God, look at that. But I'm confused. Are these optional legs? Why would you have an optional leg? That right here. So is that so it can be stepping on a rock or something? Oh, so it can be walking forwards. Right, I see. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm gonna have it with all 4 feet on the ground, to be honest. I'm very unimaginative. Yeah, no, absolutely. Do nominate Luton. I'm not sure if he's already won one, but yeah, if it's me, amazing. Honestly, thank you, but you don't have to. Good day to you, Debaconator. Hello. What are these hieroglyphics posing as instructions? I know, Cameron. Wait, you want pour up Philip Marks? Why are you guys making me second guess? Okay, fine, we'll do pour up. It's what the chat wants! And I'll always do what you want. Okay, pour up. Pour up it is. Component 74. 76. That's right there. That's convenient. I know, David. I know. January's nearly done. And I have not completed the things I wanted to in January. But there were 93 models in the Tomb Kings box. I couldn't do it all in a week. Well, I could have done if I hadn't slept for a week. But, and I know it's bad. I know it's bad form of me to swap the leg and head about. Instructions for the week. Why do I live? I mean, look, if I can get all of the Tomb Kings, all of that Tomb Kings box done in the next week or so, I will be on 100 models done in January. Which sets an unrealistic pace, but it would mean that we would be on for doing 1,200 in a year. And I have a goal of doing 500, and I have a stretch goal of doing 600 models this year. 52 videos. Oh no, sorry, not 52 videos. 104 videos. A minimum of 52 live streams. And somewhere in the region of like 52 shorts or whatever. So I was thinking, like, because you guys seemed to like the little recipe versions I did for the Hammers of Sigmar. So what I think I might do is I might do some of those for the Tomb Kings. Just like, you know, 3 different ways to get a really good bone color for your Tomb Kings. Skeletons. Okay. So I'm on 44, I think, because I've finished 2 Deathwing Knights. So this year I have finished. So far in January, I have painted a Warhound Titan, 2 Iron Striders, 20 Skeleton Warriors with spears and shields, 16 Skeleton Archers, although I just need to apply 1 dry brush and do the rims on those guys. Necrolyph Bone Dragon and the Tomb Prince. I've done Belial, and I've done 2 Deathwing Knights. I need to do 3 more Deathwing Knights, a Watcher in the Dark, and a Teleport Homer. Because a Teleport Homer still counts. Oh god, that's just really horrible how that doesn't go together properly. We've got a big mold line right there. I saw another one. Just there. But remember, guys, I do this as a job. So my job is to paint all day. So I should be doing 45 models already in a month. You do not have to keep up with me. That does not make you a bad hobbyist. we go. And then one leg goes on there. Excellent. I think I've applied the glue to the wrong piece, but we'll see. Not in the wrong area, but I've applied it to the... That'll do. I mean, it goes on, so it's fine. Okay, one down. 3, 5, and 7 is the next leg. Where are you, pieces? There they are. 3. 5. That's 3. 5. And 7. Do you think Walking Dead is in the it's time to stop phase of the IP? I absolutely do, Jacob Schutz. You need to. It needs. People need a break from the Walking Dead. Mostly just because I think it is run as an IP. It's currently at that phase where it makes money because it's so popular. So it's run really lean. Which then means the quality of it comes down, which then means the entire community complains about the quality of it, which is, you know, it's non-ideal. So they're just kind of milking it a little bit. The story has been told twice now, fully. FM, thank you very much for becoming a member. That is very, very kind of you. Welcome. For those of you who have joined as members today, remember to join the Discord. It's the best Discord in all the land. Get in there. Simon, 74. Need help, Warhipster. Done some scions inspired by Lamb Den Lions, so flesh tearers over iron hands. Still struggling to find the right highlight for the red armor. Please help. Interesting. What you could do is you could highlight the red armor. Do you want to highlight, because you've done it with metallic red, do you highlight the red armor with Liberator Gold, if you want to go bright, and then use like a really thinned down Flesh Tearer's red, or like a shade of some description or something like that, to then go over that highlight. So use a bright metallic, and then go over it with a transparent red, and you'll get the highlight you're after. Have you ever tried to paint with an airbrush? I have once, Tundra. Just the once. And I did it live on stream and it was a disaster. And Eric Kamanu, thank you very much for gifting 5 memberships. You have taken us to 777. The number of Nurgle. Everybody, we're going to be very ill building this sick model. Oh, man. Hey, I love the Corn Demon painting tutorials. Will you be painting the new crew also? I will if they send them to me, Tom. If they don't send them to me, then I'll paint the Farstalker Kin Band or whatever it's called. So there will be something for the crew, I'm sure. But thank you very much, Eric. That's very, very kind of you. Thank you. I've done 10 chain rafts, finishing 5 Craven Throne Guards, 3 Spirit Hosts, and Ulrak the Drowner, but I'm doing an easy paint job that has helped with the output of figures. Oh, that sounds awesome. Are you going to be submitting those to the tail, Colonel? Because I would love to see them. Given as we're getting new spoopy ghosts, as we've previewed at the LVO, I'm hoping that Games Workshop sends those to me as well, so that I can paint them. Because that would be awesome. Or give them to Alice, and then she can film and paint them. If she's watching. And I haven't discussed that with her. So, I'm not holding her to anything. But do you still plan to paint the Blood Crushers? Yes, Wiggle Wiggles Bottom, I do. I do plan to build them. What I will probably do soon is, because we've done 2 Age of Sigmar Me Time Mondays, and this is our first Old World Me Time Monday. What I will do is I will do a 40k Me Time Monday, which will be about demons. I will build up the remaining Blood Crushers because I've got 2 more of them to do. And then we'll get them painted, because they shouldn't take too long. I mean, honestly, like, painting demons, I've got the knack for that. So we'll get them done. But that is what these Mondays are for, is creating space to do those things. So we might either do it as a live stream tutorial or as a tutorial. Either way, I do intend to do them, because I need to do a unit of Blood Crushers, a unit of Flesh Hounds, and 20 Bloodletters, and a Blood Master? The little Foot Herald, to finish off my Khorne Demons for 40k. And I want to get stuff like that done this year, so finding space to do that is the tricky part, but that's what these Mondays are for. So any chance of an Eldrad tutorial this year, or any other Eldar you haven't done? Yes, there is a chance of it. There is a chance. Depending on when their codex comes out. There will be more Eldar stuff coming. There's not a lot for the Eldar I haven't done, though. That's the thing. Like, in terms of like aspect warriors and stuff like that, I've done almost all of them. I think the only ones I haven't done are the Dark Reapers. But in my tidying up phase yesterday, I did find a box of Harlequins, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot I bought these. For the express purpose of doing a Contrast Plus print tutorial for them. Pedro Cantor went. Yes, he's also. I also found his model, because I bought him, and he was nestling in a box alongside Tycho, and I was like, oh, good. I need to put him on the shelf. So he is on the things to do this year shelf when I get a moment. So right, you can't see it from this angle, but if I tilt my thing like this, so you see this white thing here. This is a 4x1 Kallax cube, and on here is all of the stuff that I want to do this year. So things like where is it? Torments, and where is he? There he is. Blood Crushers. And things like Ahsoka Tano. Those Reapers are old. No, they're not. They got an update with Morgan Ra. Didn't they? Alright, leg number 4. to me. Yeah, we could. I mean, the crew. I initially wasn't like super enthused by the crew. But then I was like, oh, do you know what? That actually lets me create quite an interesting dynamic to a Tau army. And then I was like, yeah, do you know what? Actually, I'm more into it now. More and more I think about it, because my Tau army is, you know, very much an in progress. I've got a lot of Tau here, and I want to build it out to 2,000. 2,000 points. That way, it's good, and we're good to go on that front. The question is, I've done a lot of Tau Sap tonight. They are my favourite. I love that. I love that colour scheme. But we do have Farsight as well. So do I do like 1,000 points of Tau and then 1,000 points of Farsight enclaves, and then keep the two together, because, you know, 10th edition doesn't stop me from doing that anymore. So it's all good. But yeah, I'm a little bit more enthused by them, because I was like, oh yeah, that'll be a nice good chunk of something that looks nice and different. Which means I can do one more unit of strike for Fire Warriors, a unit of Pathfinders, and then add some Kroot in there to make a really good infantry corps to the army, because I want the Tau army to be quite a visually interesting army, not just like all battle suits. So as you know, on the channel we've done a Riptide. I want to do like some Tau Sept Crisis and some Farsight Enclaves Crisis suits. I have enough here in this house to do 12, I believe. So, you know. Do you play the board games as well, or more in it for the painting and models? Yeah, no, I wish I could play them more. The problem is time. And also just my location. You know, I'm out in Cheltenham, so it's not conducive or particularly sexy destination for people to come and play games. And Alice and I have talked about that in the past, you know, like if we were to move, where would we move? And I have expressed a desire at times to maybe move to somewhere like Nottingham. So, you know, Warhammer World is there. But then also, you know, I'm not like desperate to move just yet or anything like that. We really love where we are. And we don't know what the future is going to hold for us. So I want to add a lot more playing content to the channel. At the moment, it's a little bit difficult. Just scheduling that in, you know. Because my guys, Mr. Gwatkin, if you're still here, Adam, if you turn up, or if you listen to this on demand, Mr. Reza Prime, and Alice herself. We're just also very, very, very busy people. And because I live in Cheltenham, it's a little tough to get to. Is Tau Sept the white armor or the beige pattern? It's the beige one. Don't do it, you fool. I live here in Nottingham. What's wrong with that? Do you know one of the things that makes me hesitant to move, and I never used to think that this really bothered me, it's the idea that I'm going to have to change the addresses on everything. That's genuinely the thing that I find the most annoying. But, you know, there's also the outside chance that I win an Omaze giveaway, and that's where we end up moving to. And if you don't already, do check out the Omaze stuff, because, you know, you got to be in it to win it, but you might win like a 5-bedroom house. I haven't played Warhammer since 2nd edition. It's just a collecting/painting hobby for me nowadays. That's what it feels like for me, and I wish it wasn't. I wish I played a little bit more. Yeah, Cameron has spelt it right. CHELTENHAM. Right, 9, 10, and 11. How do you spell the town you live in? And what's the first line of your address? And what's your bank details? And what's your PIN number? Wait, hang on. The first ones weren't suspicious, but... I'd be with you, Laura. I can... That would be a little bit heartbreaking, wouldn't it? Finally, the house is done. Congratulations, you've won this house. No! Yeah, so we rent. We don't own this place. The issue for us is me, because I'm self-employed, and I've only been fully self-employed for 2 years really. Well, no, 3, coming up 3. So I'll have 3 sets of tax returns with which to be able to meet with a mortgage advisor. But Alice earns more than I do, so between us, I'm the issue. Because obviously it's more risky for a self-employed person. If you say, you know, if I say, oh yeah, no, I could make a lot of money, they're like, yeah, but like, can you prove it? To which I have to say, no. But why don't you check me out on a live stream? You can see how generous people are. I mean, Cameron asked if we could put a goal on the screen. And I really like that as an idea, and I've been thinking about one. And I did joke to Alice, Warhipster's new studio. Here's our goal. Many hundreds of thousands of pounds. Let's get there, bro. And then I can end up in a bunch of way more famous YouTubers' videos of compilations of people who absolutely ruined their streaming careers. Which are always a good time to watch. Just not when you're in them. Also, it's a tough sell to a mortgage advisor. So what do you do? Oh, I paint toy soldiers. Okay, and that works, does it? Yeah. Yeah, it does. It's the best job in the world. You should try it. Or don't, because, you know, don't be more successful than me. Please. I need the subscribers. We've done 2 pages. Do you get to write off all your GW purchases as business expenses? That is correct, Lord Billy. As long as I use them for making content. If I use them for the videos. If I just buy something for me, then it's not an expense. But so like this Necrosphinx, because we're making content with it, it would be an expense. Oh God, Cameron, that would honestly. If someone like Mr. Beast found me and just went, there you go, I'd be like, oh my God. I think I would have a heart attack on stream. Okay. Question for you, chat. Which head's nicer, this one or this one? I'm leaning this way. Maybe the real goals are the friends we make along the way. You're spot on there, Eric. That's really it. Armored head for sure. This one. We always wondered where you lived. Come to Notts, Sherwood Forest and Warhammer World. What more could you want? It's just 40 minutes from me. Well, there you go, Dana. I mean, you're not wrong, Captain Mannerings. The issue, like I said, is with I can't prove my earnings consistently enough yet. Also, from the first couple of years of Warhipstering, my earnings were not good. Because we've been growing the channel, of course. Okay, we're going for that one. Are we gluing the beard in? Is there a beard? Yes. Although apparently it's optional. I don't believe that for 1 minute. It doesn't look optional at all. 39. And then do we want 40? Where are we looking? 40 or 38? I prefer 38, so I'm going to go for the snake. Beards aren't optional. No, they're not. Not on this channel. They're mandatory. The right one you put under a pointy hat to make an old school Nagash. I am Nagash, the great necromancer. That's veering way too close to... see? I'm Nagash, the great necromancer, see? See, now this is the bit I don't like about building big kits. Is when you have fiddly bits to do. It almost feels like it doesn't make sense. Wait, what? That goes in there, apparently. So what's that for? Oh, there must be like a thing that goes on. I can't imagine him sounding any other way. If you listen to the Soul Wars book, that'll change your mind. All he does in the Soul Wars book is he shouts the entire time. Nagash just spends the whole time yelling in Soul Wars, and it's very funny. Like, the Soul Wars book is much better to read than it is to listen to. Because after a while in the Soul Wars audiobook, it starts to sound really funny. Because it is just him basically turning up places and yelling his catchphrases at people. And he just roams around shouting, all are one in Nagash and Nagash is all. I think is the exact line. And it's like, bro, calm down. Just slow your roll. We get it. You're very cross. The Soul Wars book is very good. I really enjoyed it. But listening to the old audiobook was just a really funny time for me. It's like, oh, here he is again. Is Nagash just a soundboard? Yeah. At a certain point, he does start to sound like one in Soul Wars. I remember I was listening to it whilst I was doing a painting. I was filming a painting tutorial, and you know, it was getting towards the later part of the night, and it was all quiet in the house, and there's one chapter where it goes from some Stormcast talking to each other about stuff that's going on in their lives. Literally cuts to Nagash, and he's yelling at people. Well, he's having a conversation with one of his underlings, where he is just shouting at them, going, all are one in Nagash, and Nagash is all. And it's like, oh my god, just chill out, bro. Uh, 25. It's there. Did you read Titanicus? No. Is that a Horus Heresy book? If it's a Horus Heresy book, I've probably read it. If it's not, then no. Welcome back, Philip. So, for those of you who've bought your own Necrosphinxes, I don't know if yours experience will be the same as mine. However, there's two sprues, obviously, as we've already looked at. And one of them has got all the body pieces on it, and that one's pretty good. It's got some really easy to get rid of some mold lines. And then you've got the sprue with all the details on, like this little scorpion. And there are these really obvious, very white mold lines on it. And they are worse than the other sprue. And that's really annoying. For many reasons. The main one being that it's just slowing me down building it. So one sprue is significantly worse than the other. Which you don't expect. But here we are. That's the universe we live in. And like I said, mileage may vary. Sometimes I see kits like this and they're just absolutely perfect, and sometimes you get them and they look a little bit like this. I remember a friend of mine's Vanguard Paladors were significantly nicer than my ones. My ones were hideous when I first did them. That was just the chunkiest mold lines you've ever seen in your life. Boop 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 ba-doop boo ba-doop 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 ba-doo. Does this go on the... No. I don't know where that goes. It looks like it goes on a head. Would you change anything with the Zarakan Dynasty recipe nowadays? Probably not really. I think it's really good anyway. It is a... I really like that recipe. It might be that there's a better way to shade it. And I know that I did use Cryptek Armor Shade Gloss on some of the old Necron stuff, which you can't actually get anymore, which is really annoying. So if you can find a pot of that, then groovy, but if not, that can be a little bit of a frustration. This is pretty cool. But you could probably do something like shade the Rune Lord brass bits with maybe something like Seraphim Sepia, and then shade them again with Agrax or something like that. Like, I think the base colors of it I wouldn't change too much. I would maybe change things like some of like the weapons, like the what are they called? The Scorpack Destroyers. I would maybe use some of the paints that I used in the Imatech video or the Oracan video to do their weapons. You've got more greens at your disposal now. But no, I probably wouldn't change it too much. boom, doop 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 boom boom boom. Tell me on. Oh god, it's already 7 o'clock. What? Oh, I think I see. That's a bit ropey. There's a little cut out here and here. No. Beginning to struggle with 10th. Think I need something different. MESBG or AOS? MESBG, you can get an army done really quickly. Especially if you like pick up like a battle host. It's a really cheap way to start an army. Also, if you love the Lord of the Rings films, then what better way to kind of get some in hobby enthusiasm for doing them than by watching the Lord of the Rings. AOS though does have incredible models that will speak to the painter in you on another level. And you can create something that is truly like a spectacle to look at on the battle on the tabletop. I think they're both viable options. AOS is more familiar as a game because 40k ripped it off. What's got you down about 10th, Chewy? I hope it's not me moaning about it all the time. That's right, you do have a Dead of Dunharrow army. I'd forgotten you did that. Thank you for reminding me. In his heart, Josh begins to understand that he was foolish for thinking he would be able to build both the new model kits he got in one 2.5 hour session. That was an unrealistic expectation. Right, it's going to be the same deal over here, isn't it? So I'm just going to pop the glue in. Do that. Okay, we've done another page. There are 2 more pages to go. Bleh. The start of your Deathwing box video was spot on. I feel like what is a really inclusive hobby is being destroyed by GW and their changing and removal of key units. Yeah, I mean, it is a... There comes a certain point where... you know, it starts to get annoying, especially like when it happens to your faction. Like I'm 100% convinced that the Blood Angels. I'm 100% convinced that the Blood Angels code stuff is going to happen, and that we're going to get a new Sanguinary Guard box. New Sanguinary Guard miniatures, which will be really pretty, but the Sanguinary Ancient will be gone. Similarly, I think like the Death Company will get a redesigned kit, possibly even be a set of shoulder pads on the upgrade sprue that you can add to a Jump Pack Intercessors unit. And as a consequence of that, it means you end up losing access to things like Thunder Hammers and unique pistols and things like that, and power weapons on the rest of the unit. And so, thus, the old Death Company are then rendered unusable because you no longer have their loadouts, which has already happened to me once with the removal of bolt gun and chainsword as an equipment for them, because that was the meta way to run them in 8th. So I built 15 of them with bolt guns, and I bought some Mark III Space Marines because they had their little slung holstered chainswords, which I stuck on them, and I was like, there we go. See, look, I don't have Death Company using one-handed bolters, which looks fine on a couple occasions, but when you have too many of them doing that, it can be a little bit eh. And like, I get Games Workshop is modernizing their miniature collections. I just, I think, things like losing the Deathwing Command Squad is a bit of a blow. And like, it could look awesome in the way that they do their new kits. And I think it's just a bit strange that some things go and some things don't, you know? But then at the same time, it's like, well, who's to blame really here? Because, you know, people say if you're someone like if you are Games Workshop, you get two conflicting messages, right? You get told that the Space Marine Codex is too bloated and it has too many units in it and it needs to be trimmed down. And they go, oh, okay, let's see what we can do about that. Yeah, but we also want new models. And it's like, okay, so you want more new models, but you also don't want all of the old models, but you don't want us to get rid of any of the old models. It's like, yeah, can you figure out how to do that, please? And like, you know, I think what ends up happening there is people who are not YouTubers, people who are not like prevalent internet commentators and stuff like that, they're the ones that end up getting hurt more so than anyone else. That's kind of yeah, so you want to play with your Legends units, but everyone wants to play competitive, even though they're not competitive people. And so, yeah, I mean, you can use your Legends units. And then everyone's like, oh, I'm practicing for this GT, I'm not going to win. You're like, okay. And like, it's not up to you to, like, you know, to change your friend group's attitude. They'll get there when they get there, you know. It's the exact reason why I don't go down to like the local clubs or whatever, because if I just want to roll some dice, there's no opportunity for me to just do that, because you'll always turn up to so, you know, and you'll go, oh, I just want to play like a light game of 2,000 points of 40k and I'm going to bring my demons, and someone will be like, yeah, cool, I can give you a game. You're like, awesome, what are you bringing? 2,000 points of a competitive Eldar? I said, oh, well, I don't want to play that game then. No, it'll be fine, I've toned down the list, I'm only bringing 2 Wraith Knights instead of 3. You've not toned down the list. That is not a toned down list. I think there's been too much of a focus on making the game work more for competitive play, which hasn't been good for 40k. Because I think it's harmed the people who don't play for competitive 40k more so than it has improved how competitive players feel about the game. How the hell does this go together? Like that, apparently. mean, that's looking pretty cool. And that's the trouble is it's like, it's not like, it's not like anyone's saying no, you can't play Warhammer the way you want to. Of course you can. You can play Warhammer exactly the way you want to. You can play whichever edition rule set you want to. You can play your own house rules. You can do that whatever you like. But it's hard when the majority of the people around you don't want to do that. They want to play the most up-to-date, like, mission pack and things like that. Like, throughout 9th edition, I think every time I played 40k 9th edition, I would always say, so does anyone want to do Slay the Warlord, Line Breaker, and First Blood? And everyone always look at me like, here are my 3 secondaries. I'm like, oh, okay, fine. Big Bad Peter Gaming with the 5. I'm working on a wood elf army that contains 3 big trees, 10 middle trees, 41 small trees, and 5 elves. Bombardment! Any advice for painting it? Yeah. I've got a lot of Sylvaneth videos on the channel. I would start with them. The key, I think, will be to spend more time on your wood elves than it is on your trees, because they're going to be the bit that people really kind of pick out. They'll be like the centerpieces, right? I also really love that idea. Wildwood is your best friend for painting wood. If you want it to be slightly darker, you can mix it with Black Templar. If you want it to be slightly lighter, you can thin it down with a bit of contrast medium or Lamian medium, whichever you prefer. But Wildwood is such a good paint for painting wood, it's not even funny. Right, you go on there. Like I said, there's a number of videos on the channel now about painting Sylvaneth, and there'll be more coming once I can get to them. Also, invest in like a Gamer's Grass flowers pack, because it works so well with them, and also the laser cut plants. But it sounds like an excellent army, and I cannot wait to see it. We need component 20. That's what's next. Boo-doo-doo. I don't think I'm going to get this done in time, guys. Also, Karak stone is an unbelievable dry brush for wood. It's so like earthy and natural and organic. So doing things like wildwood for the wood and then dry brushing it with Karak stone, it looks so good. Look, you literally just went on. Why are you not doing it now? I'm not imagining that, right? You guys saw that. It went on and now it won't go on. Put flowers on Dark Angel's bases too. Absolutely. More flowers. Flowers everywhere. When do you have time to read? Whilst I'm waiting for coats to dry. That's generally when I have time to read. See, look, I did that with the piece on the other side, and it went in, absolutely no problem. I put the glue on, then it just went, no. Let's see if the same thing happens again. Nope. I don't know. Oh yeah, also the laser cut plants. They're really nice. We need 23 and 22. Do, 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 do. Do you think the 2023 models look out of place next to the 1993 models? I don't. Not in all cases. I think some of them do look a bit silly. So, like, I think the new Pegasus models look incredible. So when you put them next to the old Pegasus Knights, you go, wait, what? So that's the bit where I'm a little bit confused with the old world. Is that, like, you know, if you do something like, I don't know, well, I mean, Pegasus Riders are the best example. The Pegasus Riders, the old ones, look a bit goofy when you put them next to the new ones, which are beautiful, right? The Foot Knights are fine. The Foot Knights are great, but like the Horse Knights are also fine. They just about work. So it's like, that to me is questionable. But like this guy, he really works with he works with the old 1993 models. Because he used to work with them. Could they all do with being updated? Naturally. Would I rather see new things? Of course. Alright, so now you go in there. Like that. And that is still not glued together properly. Why? Why are you like this? Just sit here and hold it. I'm putting a kitty face on my Necrosphinx. I love it. I don't understand how it was fine and then it wasn't. I'm not far away from the end of this, to be honest. Oh, I see where this goes now. It goes up here. Aww. Adorable. Right, are you going to stay where I told you to? Thank you. I don't want to have to come down there. Let's just put some glue in here, put some glue around there. Put a little bit in there. Right, in you go. Hey, yo. How much is left of this? Oh, there's not much left to do. Okay. 43. Where is it? Where is it? Where is she? There you are. Oh, got those the wrong way around. $43. And then we need one of the big wings. 41 is the closest one to me. So glue that out. Clippy clippy. Boom, boom, boom. No, it's back. Do you have a... Do I have a TKBSB? I don't know what that is. What is that? You go in there. Oh no. Okay. A Tomb King Battle Standard Bearer. No, not yet. Oh, of course. TKBSB. We were talking about that earlier. I wanted to order a lot more on the day, but I couldn't afford it. So I wanted to get like the resin ones and like a tomb swarm and things like that as well. Instead, I just settled for the books, a Necrosphinx, and a unit of Tomb Guard. And Cetra. Because I was like, well, you've got to do Cetra. You know, you can't not do Cetra. I'm surprised that stayed in there as well as it did. That's impressive. Would you be so kind and show me this mini next to a standard GW paint to see how big it is? Yes. Give me 1 second. Let me just clean this wing off. Is this a new kit? No, it is not a new kit. It is from 2010. Well, it's new to me. Yeah, the next thing for Tails is, I think, Specialist / Other. So it can be literally anything you want. I'm pretty certain. Yeah, that's exactly right, Graham. It's got numbers on the kit, so that's that gives you an indicator of age. What are the rules again? You just need to take a picture and send it to me either via email to the realwarhipster@gmail.com or in the link in the Discord, in the sort of the discussion area in the Discord. To give you an indication of scale, there's the Necrosphinx and there's your standard GW pot. He's a big boy. It's a big old boy. Or you can use the Google form in the description of these streams. So if you look up the streams, you'll be able to find it. Okay, we are very, very nearly done. And I have overrun by a few minutes. Because I've got to go and have me dinner. So now you slide in here, slide into this DM. That should stick a little bit better. That'll do. I am Grandmaster Azrael. There you go. Check it out, guys. One Necrosphinx built. Just need to pop it on its base now. No, no. Oh, for crying out loud. There we go. So with even all of the chatting, we managed to do that, drum roll, in 1 hour and 52 minutes and 40 seconds. So you'll get yours done much quicker than I did. Is that worth a like on the stream? I mean, we've already gone over 100 likes on the stream. But is that worth, like, 400 gifted membership? Obviously not. Painting it. Now that will be. A sneak preview for everything that we used for the Deathwing. Yeah, so Seraphim Sepia, Fire Dragon Bright, Iron Breaker, Pallid Witch Flesh, Lead Belcher, Moot Green, Warpstone Glow, Castellax Bronze, Black Templar, Dark Angels Green, Wild Rider Red, Reichland Fleshshade, Runelord Brass, Nuln Oil, Flesh Tearers Red, Slanesh Grey, Screaming Skull, Liberator Gold, Griff Charger Grey, Retributor Armor, Bar Red. This is everything that I've used so far. Rattling Grime, Cyberite Green, Flayed One Flesh, Wazdaka Red, Blood Reaver Flesh, Wraithbone, and Primer, Cabalite Green, White Scar, Blood Angels Red, Targor Raid Shade, Cygor Brown, Lamian Medium, Eandan Yellow, Magmadroth Flame, Baletan Green, Sigval Burgundy, Agrax Earthshade, Fireslayer Flesh, Griffhound Orange, Volupus Pink, Pterodon Turquoise. No, I didn't use that. Black Legion, Wildwood, Leviathan Purple. Yeah, but bear in mind, some of this is to take one model to an extremely next level. So I'm just going to go and quickly grab him. I'll show him off to you. I simply must run away. So to bear in mind, what we've done, there's a lot of paints there, I know, but here is Belial. So if you look, for example, down here, we've done some OSL. Targor Raid Shade, for example, was used on the base. You've got that slightly darker green of the cape. You've got the warmer green of the tabard. And then on the sword, we've done a non-metallic metal, true metallic metal, whatever you want to call it type thing. So obviously you don't have to use all of these. So obviously you don't have to use all of these. But there's a lot going on this miniature. But you'll see that this video will be out on Thursday, so you'll be able to see the bits you don't need. But yes, it is a lot of paints. You also don't necessarily need Bile Red. I just used it for but there you go. There you go. Right. Like I said, behold. You can see, like, right in there, OSL reflecting off the rock and off the inside of the skeleton and on the ground around. Because people keep asking me why I don't do more advanced stuff, so I was like, alright, there you go. But it does mean that there's a lot more paints involved. Now do it more advanced, but with less paints. The Deathwing Knights themselves, a lot less colours. Like I said, this one here, that is so that's Seraphim Sepia, Pallid Witchflesh, Dark Angels Green, Warpstone Glow, Moot Green, Flesh Terrors Red, Wild Rider Red, Leviathan Purple, Slanesh Grey, White Scar, Nuln Oil, Targor Raid Shade, Agrax Earthshade, Black Templar, Lead Belcher, Griff Charger Grey, Ironbreaker, Liberator Gold, Retributor Armor, Black Legion. So there's a lot less paints for that one. It'll all make sense, don't worry. But yes, it is a lot of paints. Anyway, guys, I must run because I am now late. So, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me on Me Time Mondays. We built an entire Necrosphinx in 2 hours. Under 2 hours. There you go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much to Big Bad Peter Gaming for the 5 Warhipster memberships. Lord Billy for the 5. Lord Billy again for the 5 Warhipster memberships. Chèvre, again, I hope I got that right, for becoming a member and for the 5 new members. FM for becoming a new member, and Eric for 5 gifted memberships, and Big Bad Peter Gaming for the 5 as well. Thank you so much. I will see you all very soon. In the next one, we will be back on Wednesday. No Watcher, heartbroken. Yeah, there's going to be a Watcher. There he is. There he is. Don't worry. We're going to be doing a Watcher. Anyway, thank you very much. I will see you all very soon on Wednesday for another live stream. Goodbye and good night. Thank you so much. Bye for now. Bye.